Well, good morning.
Good morning.
You need to project, dude.
Good. No, that doesn't sound good.
No, that doesn't sound good at all. No, try it again.
Good morning, all you beautiful people out there. It is a blustery day here in Tulsa, so hopefully the wind noise won't be too terrible, although somehow it seems to have stopped at the moment.
Yeah,
Anyways.
what's up? The wind just kind of like quit.
I know.
Cool.
Anyways.
The gods are cooperating.
Right? So we are going to do a little light install on the Beast, the 2019 Streetglide Special, and then we are going to do some lighting replacement on my 2020 CVO Streetglide in the Sand Dune. We've got some super cool lights from Custom Dynamics. Let's roll the intro, and we'll see you in a few. Okay, we have some lights for my CVO, and then we have some other things for the Streetglide Special, the Beast. I'll let Mr. Nutt here tell you what we're doing.
All right. To start out, we are going to look at what we're doing for the 2020 CVO Streetglide. Basically, we have new back lights and new front lights. The new front lights are something, I think they're really new from Custom Dynamics. I don't know how long they've been out, but they haven't been out very long. Rather than the dynamic rings that they've had that actually I run on the 2019 Streetglide Special and on my 2019 CVO Streetglide, these are a solid white light as a running light. Supposed to be extremely bright. Custom Dynamics is known to make some very bright lights. And then they turn into a blinker when the blinker is activated. So they basically go from white to amber when they're blinking. I'm really kind of excited to see these because I really love my dynamic rings lights. They make a really, well, I'm not going to say a big difference, but they do make a difference when you're riding at night. They actually do work somewhat as good running lights. Then we have new lights for the back end. We'll step around the back of the CVO here in a second, but those lights at the top are for the back end of the CVO. They are a Custom Dynamics replacement made specifically for the CVO. And they go with the CVO fender. They have a smoke lens, which I think is going to look really good on this Sand Dune 2020 CVO Streetglide, especially with the other lights that we have on it. So let's step around the back and we'll kind of take a look at where these are going to go. As you can see on the back of the bike, we've already put the low-profile BAGZ lights, and I'm putting the new sequential low-profile BAGZ lights on the Beast today. That will give these lights will be on all three of our touring bikes. I really like these low-profile BAGZ lights. They look really nice when the bike is turned on. Matter of fact, why don't you do me a favor and turn on the ignition switch. So turning on the ignition, this is the backlight setup on the bike. And what we want to do is, this isn't so much for when it's on, because when it's on, it actually looks really, really good. But when it's off, when you have the smoke lights on the side and the red lights on the fender, to me it doesn't look as good. Also, I'm really hoping that these Custom Dynamics lights are a lot brighter. If you want to kind of put that down next to it. So that's how those are going to mount in there. And I'm really, really hoping this makes the difference that I think it's going to. I think we're going to be really happy with it.
Yeah, I'm super excited to try these.
Okay, so this is the front end of the 2019 Streetglide, and I'm showing this for a couple of reasons. One is to kind of show you one of the things that we're doing on the bike, and the other is to kind of show you some of the Custom Dynamics lights that I already have on this bike. A couple of them I'm replacing. One of them that I really love, I'm not, and that is the Custom Dynamics adaptive LED headlight. Go ahead and turn on the bike. I love the way that light starts up, and it's been a really, really, really great light for the bike. We're going to be replacing the front blinkers with all new units. They're called Dynamic Strips by Custom Dynamics, and with this headlight, actually they should just look awesome on this black fork cover. Forward to getting these installed. I think they're going to really just change the front end look of this bike. We're doing a few things on the back to kind of change the lighting in the back. I have Harley Davidson's curved license plate frame holder on the bike, and then I have the stock running light, brake light, blinker setup. So I want to pull all of that off, and it's going to be changed with Custom Dynamics rear light removal kit, which looks something like that with a license plate frame on top of it that gives light to the license plate. The other thing that we're going to be doing is we are going to be removing these grommets that are normally for your antennas, and we're going to be pulling this antenna out, and we're going to be installing Custom Dynamics three-way antenna grommet lights that will act as my primary back lights. And then on the bags, we are going to put the sequential low profile LED bag lights. So those will fit on the bike pretty much like these fit on this bike. The only difference is they blink sequentially from the outside, from the inside out, so they give a little bit more animation, which I think that's going to be fine. I really think that's going to replace the stock light setup and still give me great visibility from the back with the tri-bar and with the grommet lights, and then with those bag lights, I think I'll have plenty of light in the back, and it'll look a lot cleaner. I think the fender will look a lot cleaner removing this. So we're going to get busy installing this stuff, and we'll get back to you with how it looks when we're finished. Okay, before we go much further, I've got one of the front LEDs installed, and I want to kind of give a comparison between that one and the stock light. So go ahead and turn that on. That's the new Custom Dynamics turn signal and running light. Go ahead and turn on the blinker. And go ahead and turn on the stock blinker. Just to give you an idea of how those two work and how they're different. Let's go ahead and compare it to the dynamic rings. So these are your dynamic rings when they light up. Again, that ring is really, really bright. I mean, it really is. But having the full light, I think that's kind of cool. Hit the right blinker on this one, then walk over and hit the right blinker on that one. Or the left blinker. You know, it's just a little fuller light, really. I don't know if it's worth changing out the dynamic rings for this new light. I really like my dynamic rings, but I can tell you, if I was ordering lights today, I would straight just order these new lights. That is a great looking LED. Very, very, very visible, very, very, very bright.
Hello again, all you beautiful people. We finished the light install on the two bikes we were working on. So we have the Streetglide CVO, and then we have MrsNutt's Beast. So we're gonna walk through the CVO lights first. Let's get to it. On my 2020 CVO Streetglide, we installed the Custom Dynamics Genesis amber and white running lights, turn signals basically. So we replaced the LEDs that come standard on this bike, and it's amazing the difference in the brightness. We're gonna show them to you here. So they are crazy bright white light. Right blinker, left blinker, and then just standard running white light. So on the rear of the bike, we installed the Custom Dynamics ProBeam CVO taillights. They're the smoke lens with the Sand Dune color of my bike. They're just beautiful. We have also the low profile underbag lights that we installed probably 3 or 4 months ago. So smoke looks really great. I'm really happy with the way they turned out.
On our 2019 Streetglide Special, the bike we nicknamed the Beast, we have a little bit different arrangement on lights. In front of the bike, we had already installed the 7-inch Custom Dynamics adaptive LED headlight. And I've been really, really happy with that light. On the side, we now have removed the bullet blinkers, or the bullet lights, and we've installed their dynamic strips. I think they call them dynamic strips. Again, if I'm wrong in my description, I'll put something up on the video so that you guys can get the exact name of the lights, and of course we'll put links in the description and stuff like that. But these strips are really, really, really cool. First of all, they removed those chrome acorn nuts, which to me on a black, you know, with a blacked out bike, those chrome acorn nuts have always bothered me. So I'm actually considering these lights on our CVOs, or at least trying to find some screws that we can change out like these changed out. When you change out these lights, it has you remove the screw setup that's inside the shock housing, and this is a really big difference for me. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but there are just little things that annoy me, and those acorn screws have always annoyed me. So they replaced that entire unit, and then they have the light strip down at the bottom. And you can see here the LED strip with amber lights and white lights. It's basically every other light is a white light, every other light is an amber light, so that it has two different types of LEDs in the unit itself. Okay, I'm going to have MrsNutt turn these on so you can kind of get them lit up. So lit up in running light mode, these white lights are extremely bright. They're as bright as the they're as bright as the Genesis lights on yours. I mean, they're really bright. Go ahead and hit one of the blinkers. And I think for night visibility, these are going to be incredible. These are going to be as good as the dynamic rings that I was running on the bike, and again, a lot cleaner during the day. All right, go ahead and turn that off. All right, let me walk around the back of the bike and I'll show you the back of the bike. Okay, on the back we have a completely different back setup, and again, this is something that I struggled with as far as doing, because the way that they do their blinker, their stock blinker replacement, it's done primarily for a bike with a rear tail light on it, and that's why the license plate frame has the shape that it does, but also so that it can hit those bolt holes that are across there. I think it'd be a lot cooler if they actually lifted the license plate up and kind of went across that area. But again, there is a big hole in the fender for the tail light and everything to pass through, so I'm not exactly sure how that would have worked out. I don't know how great that would have been. You can see the antenna grommet lights. I think those look fantastic, and I think they make those holes that are back there, they look much better than the plugs that are in it. And with the sequential low profile under bag lights, I'm just really happy with the look on the back of this bike. I think it really cleaned it up. So as you can see, you know, these make a nice bright light in the back. So we still have about an hour of daylight here, and you're not going to get the full effect. I was going to wait until the evening and do this, but this just kind of, this opportunity presented itself to finish these off and to get this video out. So I wanted to kind of show it to you. If you could go ahead and turn on the right blinker. So that's the blinker, and the left. I'm really digging these sequential under bag lights. These are really cool. They were not out when I bought the low profile lights for the CVOs, and I'm really kind of sorry. And there's the brake light. Hit the brake light again. That looks extremely nice. So that's a full custom dynamics back end on the bike, including the light at the bottom. Again, you know something, you get to be 58 years old and you just forget some certain names. But that was one of the first things I put on the bike, is because I did want a little bit more brake light power back there, and from the factory that's just a light that kind of just runs all the time, and it's not that bright, so it makes it really usable. Alright, so that's our light install video. We're going to go ahead and close this up as we walk around the bikes and just kind of take a nice look at them. MrsNutt, if you want to do the honors of signing off.
We hope you enjoyed this install of this Custom Dynamics ProBeams, Genesis, all the strip lights. They were actually a really reasonably easy install. Took us some time, but we were able to do all of the lighting change out ourselves. Follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube. Drop your comments and questions below. We will put links in the description to all the things we installed today. Thanks for hanging with us, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.